Okay, today we are doing our line of best fit. This is 7-7. We're going to be bouncing back and forth between a worksheet and the PowerPoint. Please take notes. So we looked at this situation the other day, and we're looking at water level versus hours. The question is asking us to write the equation of the line where it describes y in terms of x. So the first thing we need to ask ourselves is, what do we need? Every time you do this, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. What do you need to write the equation? What's given? And what's my plan? So when we started out, we asked, what do we need to write the equation? Carly, what did you say we need to write the equation? We need a slope and a y-intercept. The next thing we need to do is analyze what's given. What's given in this situation? What's given in this situation? Levi.
The water level and the time.
That's more like conceptual. Those are our labels. I need the details now so that I can get these. Is there anything that's given so that I can actually find my slope or my y-intercept? Let's go with Nora.
Oh, a point?
1 point?
Oh, 2 points.
I'm given 2 points. So I am given 2 points. Okay? So now, what are those 2 points we are given in this situation? Ari?
60 and 30.
That's 60 is not a point. What's the ordered pair?
32.
The 60, what is that point at 60? 0, comma 60. And what is the other point, please, Javon?
2, 30.
2, comma 30. So given those 2 points, what can I do? Now, my question is, what's my plan? How do I find the slope? Javon?
80-point slope.
We can't do that yet. Because we don't have what in point slope? We don't have the slope.
Oh.
So what do I need to do given 2 points?
y1 minus y2.
What's that called? Do you know what that's called?
Slope form.
We're using the slope formula. So what is the slope formula?
Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1.
Okay, so now we're doing y minus y1. Not y minus y1.
Y2.
y2 minus y1 over
X2 minus
y1.
So we do that.
Okay, so again, our plan is we're given this information, we have to find the slope. So I want you doing that now. Go. Hi. Give me a thumbs up when you're done. Okay, so what are we doing to find the slope? How about Lily? What am I doing?
So first you subtract 30 minus 60.
Okay, so we've already identified our points over there. And so you're going to make this the second point. She's subtracting, she's subtracting 30 minus 60. 30 minus 60. And in our x values, what are we subtracting? 2 minus 0. So when we simplify that, what does that become?
Negative 15.
Negative 15. Okay? So remember, we're always using our reduced form. Now, what does that mean, negative 15? I'm going to write that down. Hold on. I'm writing that. What does that mean if I say that my slope, okay, what does that mean? Negative 15 over what? Yes.
Negative what?
What does this mean? What does this represent?
Y equals like the m.
Just the m. What does negative 15 represent? It is the slope, but what does the slope represent? Yes.
Me?
Tomer.
So in 1 hour it drops 15
It drops 15 what?
gallons.
It drops 15 gallons. So in 1 hour, it is dropping 15 gallons. Okay? In 1 hour, it's dropping 15 gallons. This is the kind of question you're going to need to answer. Not just the slope is negative 15. Okay? So now, once I have that slope, what can we do next? Because look at our goal. It's to write the equation. What are we doing next? Yes? Y equals the mx plus b. And we skip something. What else is given here? Looking at the picture. What else is given? In addition to the 2 points, what's given, Solana? Our y-intercept. So our b is what? 60. And now we have our slope, which is negative 15. Okay? And now what is the equation? Daniel?
It is y, so it's y equals negative 15 x plus 60.
Plus 60. Now, let's make sense of that. Let's make sense of that.
Wait, you could do 15x minus 60 also.
You can't do minus 60. Where are you getting the minus 60? The equation is the equation. Where are you getting the minus 60?
Never mind.
Okay. So, what does this represent? Let's look at our equation. What does the 60 represent? Cassandra? Conceptually now. Conceptually. Up here.
The water level.
I'm starting, right? My B is my starting point with 60 gallons. And then what is my slope representing? Levi?
The water level per hour.
I'm dropping 15 gallons per hour. So that's what that means conceptually, okay? Now, let's move on. So this is more of a situation that's real life data. So the next thing we're going to do is now we're going to go back to our own line of best fit worksheet that we've done. And we're going to look at that. And we're going to try and do the same thing and write the equation for this real life data. Okay? Now, most of you skipped a line, so I'm going to skip a line here. Now, the first thing we need to talk about is being able to draw the line of best fit. Being able to draw the line of best fit. Okay? When I draw my line of best fit, I'm going to take a line and I want to pretend that my ruler or my line is like a piece of metal. And I want to place it where I'm going to attract the most points. This is metal and these are magnets. So if I place my line here, I might only get these magnets to attract to it. If I place my line here, am I going to get most of the magnets to attract to it?
No.
If I place it down here?
No.
If I place it here?
No.
I'm only going to get these right here and this right here. So what I'm going to do is I need to place it where it's going to be exactly in the center. This is what we call a linear trend. It's a linear trend. It's not an exact line, but the data is falling in a pathway. And the pathway looks like it's decreasing. Now, as I place my line of best fit, I want to place it in the middle, pretend like this is our piece of metal, and this is our piece of metal, and where can I place it? Well, I'll get the most amount of points. I think I'm going to place it right here. Now, I'm taking a chance. I'm going to place it right here. Okay? And I'm going to draw my line of best fit because that looks like it has equal amounts above and below. And I'm drawing my line. Now, you guys draw yours too. Now, it's not exact, so don't worry. But notice I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 over here that are pretty close. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here, 6 that are pretty close. I've got some that are almost on the line. It just seems like it's equal distant. Okay, draw your line of best fit now. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to ask ourselves the same set of questions. What do we need to write the equation of a line? Ari? Slope and a y-intercept. What's given? We kind of have the y-intercept. I'm not going to bank on that, but we do have a lot of points, and we're going to pick. We're going to pick 2 points. And this is what gets tricky, because no two equations may be exactly the same. If I pick these 2 points, look what happens to my line. If I pick these 2 points. But if I pick 2 points that are spread pretty far apart, I'm going to pick this one right here and this one. I think I'm going to do that. Let's see, mine. I'm going to pick this point and this one right here. I'm using that. So the further apart they are, the more accurate it will be. So what's this point right here?
0, 600.
So let's call that 0, 600. And what's this point here?
10, 0.
10, 0. Now, what can we do with 2 points? What can we do with 2 points?
Slope formula.
Find the slope. Let's use those points and find the slope. Okay, so now we are finding the slope. I've got 0, 600, and the next one is 10, 0.
Should we do this on a separate sheet of paper or on the back? Should we do this on the back?
Okay, you can do it on a separate sheet of paper or right here. You can do it all right here. On my last time, I did it right here. But I think for you guys to see, it's hard to see with my projector. So I'm just going to move it here. But you guys can do all your work right here. Just keep a lot of space, you know. All right. So my slope is okay, finding your slope. Give me a thumbs up when you're done. All right, so now as we find our slope, I'm doing 0 minus 600, and we get negative 600. And we also get 10 minus 0 is 10. And I'm going to reduce this. Okay? I am reducing this. Now notice what I've done. I am saying about. I'm saying about because this is not exact. Sarah may have picked 2 different points. It's going to make it, my period 1 picked 2 different points. It's going to be different. But let's keep going. So my M is about equal to negative 60. So we've got our M is about equal to negative 60. Now, what else do we need? What else do we need?
Y-intercept.
We need a y-intercept. So my y-intercept
600.
is 600. Is it 600? What is it?
600.
Well, it could be either or.
What is it? I'm not doing this part. I went with the other one. It's 600. My b equals 600. So now, can we write the equation of the line?
Yes.
What is the equation, Carly?
I have a question. I don't understand why it's 600.
Because it's crossing the y-axis. The b is where it crosses the y-axis. So what is my approximate equation? Yes.
I think it's y. Wait.
Y
Y
is about equal to negative 6. What? 60 what?
plus 600.
Negative 60 what?
Negative 60x plus 600.
Negative 60x plus 600. Okay, now, we've written the equation of the line. Let's talk about now these questions here. Actually, let's talk about the questions. Are the data linear? Yes or no? If so, draw a line of best fit. So I'm going to answer yes. Find the slope of the line. Now, describe in words what the slope represents. Now remember, we said m is about equal to negative 60 over 1. What does that mean in words? I need conceptually now. What does that have to do? The rise is really my y-axis. And the run is really my x-axis. So what in terms of words does this negative 60 mean compared to the 1? I see a hand up in the back there. Jeremy. I need it conceptually relating the topics. That's what I'm talking about. Sarah.
Do you have to pay $60 less for each oil change?
Not for each oil change. Close. You're very close. Jessica.
If you go to get one oil change, it's gonna cost you $60.
Is this what this side is about?
No.
Nora.
Well, it means that, like, if you go to get your oil changed, then every time you get your oil changed, your repairs are going to cost $60 less.
Right. So let's put that in real words. Every time, for every oil change, I will what? Save $60 on possible car repairs for the year. For every one oil change, it will save me $60 in oil all right, so we are now at we said are the data linear? We said yes. The recording just turned off. So I'm going to say we came up with that negative 60 over 1 is our rise over run, or our y-axis, change in the y-axis over the change in the x-axis. So what it really means is that for every one oil change, it will save me $60. That's what the slope represents. Does that make sense? That's the kind of question that a Common Core is going to ask you. What does it represent? Not is it a rise over run. Can you relate it to the story? Yes. Okay, next. Find the x and y intercepts. Explain in terms of the oil change and the engine repairs what each represent. Okay? What are we doing? Here is my x-intercept. What does that mean? What is that meaning? Nora?
It means that, like, if you have 10 oil changes in the year, then you won't have to spend any money on repairs.
Right. If I have. Now, in words, you're writing, if I have 10 oil changes per year, it will cost me $0 in repairs. Okay? You can tell me what the y-intercept represents. This y-intercept. Same thing, conceptually. Ari,
If you don't get any oil change,
if I get 0 oil changes,
it will cost me $6.
it will cost me
600 to get.
about $600 in repairs. Now, what was the equation of the line? We already wrote that. What's the equation of the line? What? Y is about equal to negative 60x plus 600. Now, use this equation to predict the cost of engine repairs if the car had 4 oil changes. How accurate do you think your prediction is? Explain your answer. So now we're going to do that. What do I do to predict the 4? Jessica?
Well, you go to the x-axis and you.
No, it says use the equation. We're not going to the axis. To predict the cost of engine repairs. So my equation is y is about equal to negative 60x plus 600. Jessica?
You change the x and you place a 4.
Right, we're going to substitute x with 4. Our oil changes with 4. Oops, this should be a minus sign. And so we get y is about equal to negative 240 minus 600. And y is about equal to what?
Why is it minus?
Oh, sorry. It should be plus. Sorry, plus. So y is about equal to what? Yes.
Negative. No, 360.
360. Now, what does that 360 represent? What does that mean? The 4 and the 360 here. The 4 represents what, Jessica?
How many times you want to go get your oil change?
This is my oil changes. This is my oil changes. And this. Okay, I'm just noticing the recorder went off. So now what we're doing is comparing our cost, which we found out for 4 oil changes, it costs us $360. Look at the other classes. They used a different slope, and then to get the equation, they used point slope. They used the point 2, 500, and they came up with this equation. Now, when they solved everything, look what 4 oil changes cost them. Right here. $375. Now, the point of line of best fit is to predict. So they're saying what we've done is we've written an equation that we can predict for any amount of oil changes. Yes, it's not exact, but it's going to cost you anywhere in the area of $360 to $375. It's just an estimation. Do you understand that? Do you understand why your equations will not be exact?
Yes.
All right. So, hold on. I'm going to stop. One more thing. Now, homework for tonight that I just gave you. Shh. Looks like this. Shh. I just want to, we're answering all the same questions. We're answering, you're going to do it 4 times. We're answering all the same questions. You're going to turn it in for a grade. Okay? Make sure it's neat. I want to put it on my wall. Shh. Attach any sample work if you want to. Make sure it's numbered. Now, look at that little squiggly line there. That's what we call a break. We use that when we want to skip from 0 to 120. Why would they need to skip from 0 to 120? Yes?
Because they don't have enough space to put all of it.
Not just space, but... Shh. Hold on. Stop. Quiet. Recording. Shh. Why?
Because like they don't the data they don't need any of the numbers.
None of the data falls in there. So they're skipping it. So that's why they have that. So don't worry about that.
What if I don't have a Y in the step?
You're going to find one. 2 points. You can find one. I'll be here today till 4 o'clock to help you get started.